So my handy dandy stand that made this easier to do at my desk is gone. So I haven't made a video in a while. I hadn't anything to talk about. There's been no rulings I've had to make, but I'm making them ruling before it becomes an issue in my game because I was arguing with a friend about it. I'm not arguing. I wasn't invested enough to argue with someone who was shouting at me. And that's something we have in our hobby, the one-tourism. If we don't agree with a ruling or a way we do something hobby, people just double down, they get hyper-emotional about it. I'm like, okay. I wanted to say, hey, why are you yelling? But we were playing a different game. I'm like, and the DM ruled like how he likes, right? So it was irrelevant to me. If a DM I'm playing under makes a ruling that doesn't go along with my logic as a dungeon master, I may make a note on my character sheet or paper. That way I don't assume it's how I do it. They're doing it different. It's their game. It's their rules. It's how they do it. When I'm running it, it's my rules. It's how I'm running it. My interpretation. That aside, magical bows and ammunition and creatures that need magical weapons to be hit. Dragon Slayer is vague. I'm gonna double check under the ammunition, but I don't think it says anything. You don't see anything bigger than a +1 bow in AD&D and other games. You don't see too many high plus magical bows. So there is a line of thought in the hobby, especially along the BX line, that the magical bow imparts upon the arrow a plus, so a normal arrow fired from a magical bow has its plus to hit for magical creatures. I do not buy into that theory. I believe the magical ammunition needs to be of the plus to hit the creature, especially if the creature needs a higher scale of +1 to be hit, +2 to be hit, +3 to be hit. A bow confers greater accuracy and hitting power, but it does not, unless it specifies in the description of the item, impart any magical bonus to the weapon, to the munition. So if you're fighting, say, a lemure, and you have a +1 bow and a regular arrow, your attacks are ineffectual. If you have a silver arrow and it can be hit by a silver, damaged by a silver, then the arrow does damage because it's silver, and then you get to impart the +1 to hit and +1 to damage from the bow. Also, referring back to AD&D, where it says magical bows and other missile things and the ammunition stack. +1 bow, +1 arrow, +2 to hit, +2 to damage. If the bow imparted the magic to it, then they would not stack logically as per rings of protection. The power would override. The greater of the two would be the higher. So if you believe the bow imparts the bonus to hit and damage to the ammunition, and you're using a lesser or higher plus arrow, you don't add them. You take the greater. But if you believe they are separate and the bow does not impart magic unto the ammunition, then all that stacks. So that is the way you can make your argument for the munchkins in your hobby who want to stack all them numbers. Plus, you don't really see any +3 bows. You see +1 bows on the chart. So if you're using that logic, then you're going to be in a bad spot eventually. But arrows are more plentiful. They are expendable. Once you fire them, they're done. It's a one-shot item. That's why you find them in groups and bundles. Yeah, that's how I view it. You do have a few items like back in the day, like the crossbow. The +3 crossbow says bestows +3 to hit to the ammunition. Specifically says it. So that's that. That would be an item that bestows a magical plus. But if you put a +4 or +1 in there, you're not stacking those. You're using the +3 of the crossbow. You're turning your +1 ammo into +3, and your +4 is too powerful to be enchanted, I guess. But you're not stacking because it bestows upon the ammo. It's not the actual device giving greater accuracy and stuff. That's how I rule it. That's how I roll. What about you? Well, I think that's and that adds up. And if you got sling bullets and a +2 sling of seeking, then that's the +2 and the others. It makes that sling ammunition worth having. Plus, it's always going to be sling bullets for me. So, I made a ruling on sling bullets. They do actually a little bit more damage. They're D4 +1 with better range than a rock. Savages use rocks. I use a sling bullet, a little football. What do y'all think? Am I in the wrong? I went down and I went over the dragon's foot, but I'm having this as rulings are being made more often. I got folks who want to argue more. I'm not arguing. It's my ruling. It's how the ruling stands. Now, if you want to quip about it every time we have something that goes on, I will get tired of that. I will get tired of that quick. If you want to run the game, you run a game. That's how that goes. If you want to quip about all the rulings and the rules and blah, 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 then you run it. It's just a game to me. I think it's more fun when you don't take it all that damn seriously. We have people who just talk about the hobby and don't really play that much. Or they talk way more than they actually play. I run one game, but I make 12 hours of videos a week. Well, that's a lot. I run 12 hours a week. I run 12 hours a week, and I play 6. I think that's excessive. To be honest, and I would play more, but I have other things. I have other responsibilities, other things I like to do. Yesterday we were supposed to go see a concert, and we pulled a mulligan. We pulled a audible on that, and I instead went and had a potluck dinner with family that I haven't sat down at a table with in a very long time, and that was quite enjoyable. And we sat there till past when I normally start my game time. And that was enjoyable. With media. So, I don't know who that third bus is for. The magical bows, crossbows, slings, and the ammunition. The ammunition is what actually hits the wet creature. Therefore, that's what needs to be of the plus required to hit the creature. Seems logical to me. A lot of people don't agree with it. Oh well. I think it's an old argument, and these other people are like, no, it's plainly visible. And it's the new players 2E forward who automatically assume that the weapon, the bow, imparts it upon the ammunition. And then your older grognards who are AD and D people are kind of, there's a little split there. And your Beckney BX people where magic is a little bit more all-encompassing are the items back here. So A and D is kind of the exception to the rule, I think. But individual DM fiat over the years has created the ammunition versus the bestowal argument over the years. I'm heavy. The ammunition is what needs to be done. It makes those expendable arrows and bolts valuable. Let's face it, creatures that need high pluses to hit, you usually don't want to get too close to. So having lots of magical ammunition to deal with those kind of creatures, especially things like gargoyles, stuff that can fly up, you want to be able to hit that. And I'm going to have to make adjustments to range on vertical fire. Double. If you're shooting up, double it. So if it's 30 feet up, 20 feet away, that'd be 60 plus 20, an 80-foot shot for determination of range. Firing up means fighting gravity. Therefore, that's how I'm doing it. Firing at angles is going to be double the range. So if it's 100 feet above you, it's a 200-foot shot. You need a longbow. Your short bows and stuff are going to lose momentum going straight up. It's like the arguments for lot radius. That 1 foot beyond 30 foot is complete darkness now. You add that 5 to 20 foot shadowing based upon conditions. If you're outdoors, I would extend the shadowy because of ambient starlight and the moon. If you're in a dungeon, it might be only 5-10 feet. It's dark. You get 5 to 10 feet, the shadowy zone, and beyond that, it's darkness. Thought I'd share that shit with you guys this morning. Hope you're all enjoying your games. I hope you've got steady campaigns where you are doing heroic or diabolic stuff if you're into that stuff, or you're just having fun goofing. Game well, game often, guys. And remember, it's just a game. Don't take it too seriously.